Hi, my name's Jacqui Preugschat, author of Tessa's Books of Elegance. Welcome to Word on the Street, where I interview other authors about their creative works. And today we're talking to Chrissy Junge. And Chrissy spent her childhood immersed in the menagerie of pets, imagining and illustrating fantastical stories about what mischief they could be getting up to behind closed doors. And as an adult, Chrissy has blown the dust of these cherished pages and presented them as children's books, fulfilling her life's ambition to become an author. Her debut title, Alfredo, was written at the age of 12 and illustrated at 14. The text originally saved on a floppy disk, and the work then left untouched for 17 years. Alfredo is a bright, colourful and happy book about the adventures of a small bird called Alfredo who thinks he's a dog. Welcome, Chrissy. How are you going?
I'm good, thank you, Jackie. How are you?
Great, excellent. I'm really excited about your book. And as you know, I bought a copy and you signed it for my daughter, which she's really thrilled about. And yeah, we can't wait to receive it in the mail. So did you want to tell us a bit about the book?
Sure. So you've given a little bit of an idea about it there, but Alfredo's been with me a long time. So in the story, he lives with his human family. He's a rescue parrot. He thinks he's a bird. Thinks he's a dog. And he's smuggled overseas by thieves, and he manages to escape through a plane window, and he ends up landing in the middle of the ocean, and he finds himself on a little island, and then he meets these pirates. He makes friends with this pirate parrot, and then he just has this little zany adventure, just traveling everywhere, trying to find his way back to his human family.
Sounds exciting. I know children would just love that story. That's any like adventure, and especially he thinks he's a dog. I think that's just so funny. So yeah, it sounds great. And so what made you finally want to get it published after all these years?
Well, look, it's been over 20 years since I came up with the book and did the illustrations and everything. And I guess I could say it's another product of the coronavirus pandemic. I finally had the time and the money, and I thought, well, let's do it. I've been talking about doing it forever. I've been talking about becoming an author forever. It's my life goal. So let's jump in.
Awesome. That's great. And so did it, I really wondered, like, did it change much from when you wrote it? Like, did you have to change it much at all, or from when you wrote it?
To be honest, I took a bit out of it. I was a lot more wordy when I was a kid. So I started writing it when I was quite little, and a lot of it was very, I think it was written from a bit of an anxious mind. It dug into this little parrot's thoughts way too much. So I cut a bit of that out, and I cut out a little bit of the adventure because he had endless adventure. And with the illustrations, I did add a little bit of acrylic paints, and then I eventually ended up adding a couple of digital elements. I've done a lot of photography and stuff over the years, so I'd cut out, say, the background with the sky, and I'd add a photo I'd taken of the sky as part of the background of one of my hand-drawn illustrations. So they're a little bit of a mashup of hand-drawn, digital illustration, and also photography joined in.
Wow, fantastic. That's so excellent that you have those skills. So you can do this with your own book. I mean, that's just, you know, an author's dream, really, to be able to do all that as well. Yeah. So what was it like when you first held your book in your hand?
It was a really stressful day, if I'm honest.
Glad I asked.
Yeah, look, when I first started my publishing journey, I was living in a truck that I travelled around in, and I built it into a little home, and I didn't have an address. So my boss at the time, which we had a very volatile relationship, I used to use her address as my home address. So she also had the same name as me. We were both Chrissies, both spelled the same. Anyway, so I moved on with my life and forgot about having her address. And then when my book came, it came to her, and the publisher said, oh, hey, it'll come any day now. And I thought, oh my goodness, I've not even given you an address. And right. Then so I had to unblock her from my phone, and I had to talk to her, and I had to go, and thankfully a friend of mine worked for her still, so my friend managed to rescue this book for me. So I went to my friend's house to pick it up, and it was just a huge relief. It was good to hold it, but it was more just the fact that I had it back.
Yeah.
That felt good.
Oh wow, what a start. But yeah, that's excellent though that you you got it. And yeah, so I saw it actually at the International Women's Day, and yeah, it looks beautiful. Yeah, so we can't wait to read it. So what message is there for children in there, or would you like children to take from reading the book?
Alfredo's message is one of you need to have a sense of humor in life, to enjoy life, enjoy the journey, but you also need to, I think, value perseverance. He perseveres for the entire book to find his way home. And he cares so much about his home and his family. So I think those are strong values in life for anybody. And that's what he wants to convey to children.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's really great. And so what, if I could ask also, what does success mean for you personally?
Success, I think, means feeling happy with yourself. You're successful when you're happy with the person that you are. It doesn't mean having $1 million in the bank or having a fancy car. It just means that I think you go to sleep at night feeling good about yourself, and that's all that I want in life.
Yeah, that's really excellent. That's wonderful. That's a good goal for everybody. Well, that's my opinion anyway. That's brilliant. So what inspires you every day? Like when you wake up, what or who inspires you?
I'd love to say I have a who, like someone that I look up to and everything, but I would love to find someone like that, just to look up to and follow, I suppose. But I guess the thing that inspires me the most is just to consistently be better and consistently do better than what I am doing, and just keep trying at that.
And does that involve your next adventure, whatever that may be, in regards to, more books or something else happening?
I'm at a bit of a crossroads at the moment. So as I mentioned, I lived in my truck. I lived in that for 4 years, and I did have a lot of adventures in that, and I learned a lot of things. I learned woodwork, I learned wiring, and I learned how to live on the streets, basically. So I have had a lot of people say when they found out that I wrote a book, they just assumed it was about van life because I had so much experience in it. So that's one of the things that I've thought about doing. But the other thing that I want to do is I want to buy a house, and I want to have a family, and I want to have kids, and I want to go down that road as well. I know that you can do both, but I do want to do one thing wholeheartedly. So I know how much time and it's all consuming bringing a book to life, isn't it? The marketing and the consistent events, readings and signings and everything.
It's absolutely full on. It doesn't stop, and it doesn't end. It doesn't end. It just, because if I stop, nothing happens in that way. You've got to just keep going, keep creating, and keep asking and keep, but also making contacts, creative contacts and connections, meaningful ones, not like, oh, well, now that you bought my book, see ya. It's having that relationship with people, which I'm really loving. Yeah.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, I've met a lot of people through Ocean Read Publishing. All the authors have been excellent, and through that I've been branching out to other authors as well and other people, and it's really excellent. I think it's the way to go in regards to marketing as such, if you want to use that. I don't even want to use that term, but it's just like supporting other people, I think, is really important as well. Yeah,
it's very important.
So are you considering doing an ebook or an audio book for Alfredo?
The ebook will be coming out the day of my physical launch, so that's mid-May. And the audio book is still a big consideration. So at the moment, yes, especially seeing as my mum's blind. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that. So she is a huge audiobook reader. She has her Daisy player, she calls it, and she, at some stages, she listens to 5-10 books a week sometimes. So I do know the importance of having an audio book, and as Alfredo is a first chapter book, it's a little bit past a picture book, so it is something that is possible to do. So it's a tentative yes for now.
Right. Okay. Awesome. That's fantastic. And so I'm hoping now you'd tell everybody about this awesome book launch that's coming up.
Oh, I'd love to, Jacqui. So my book launch for Brisbane folk, it's at the Hamilton Hotel, 16th of May. It's a Sunday, 2 to 4. I'm very excited. It's going to be a very colourful event. It's in a beer garden in a pub. I want it to be family friendly. So it's a very family friendly pub. Kids are welcome, adults are welcome. I just want to pretty much celebrate with everybody. So I'm going to be buying everyone beer, champagne, and there's going to be some snacks. And my most favourite thing about it is we're going to have some live exotic parrots there. So as my book's about a parrot, there's going to be a macaw called Kaiba, who a friend of mine owns. He's a a very large bird. And there's also going to be free face painting for the kids done by one of my best friends who's a professional face painter.
Sounds amazing. Wow, that sounds really excellent. Did you say it's a macaw?
A blue and gold macaw, yes.
That's going to be incredible. Wow, what a day. Well, I'll be there, as you know, and can't wait. And so at the moment you're also having a pre-sale, aren't you, for the book?
I have. So my pre-sale started earlier this week, actually, so it's still very fresh. So it can be ordered online. ChrissieJunge.com is my website.
That's the next question I was going to ask. Where can people find you and find out everything about you and what you've done? And so it's ChrissieJunge.com.
Yeah, .com. ChrissieJunge. Isn't it wonderful having a difficult name to spell when you're an author? Also, Brisbane Girl In A Van, which is a lot easier to spell, is my Instagram, which has all my details on my book and all my truck stuff from the past, and it's also linked to my website.
Fantastic. It's such an interesting website. I was having a look on there, and it's really interesting, the photos and the story, and what you've done so far is incredible. So yeah, that's just really, really encouraging to other people, I think, as well. So yeah, head to Chrissy's website to find out all the details. And thank you so much for doing this interview. I really appreciate it. And yeah, talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Jacqui, and all the best with your launch coming up too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.